Manchester United have kept behind three very, very important academy players from being loaned out this season. The majority of Manchester United's under-21 squad from last season has been sent out on loan to get first-team experience. But three players remain, three players that are crucial to what could help Ruben Amorim at the back end of this season. Interesting points from the MEN and why Sekou Kone, Shea Lacey and Gabe Biancheri have been kept behind by Manchester United. We're going to go into the reasons in this video now, giving you all of the up-to-date news in and around Manchester United. This is the biggest story going around at the moment, and it is a big one because looking ahead, and you only have to look at that January transfer window as a big point, and a big point to actually bring up in why United have kept Lacey, kept Kone and kept Biancheri at the football club. One striker, one 10/winger and one holding midfielder that Manchester United, well, I don't think we desperately need to keep hold of any more 10s. We've got plenty of cover in that department, but Shea Lacey has been training with the first team squad. So we'll start with Shea Lacey and talk why he has been kept. He was on the Asia tour, he was part of the US tour. He has been featuring for Manchester United in first team training. He has been absolutely plagued by injuries throughout his time at Manchester United. Now 18 turning 19 at the end of this season. He's at that age, that coming of age. Came back from injury again from earlier on this season, a little bit of a setback, and scored an absolute screamer over the week for Manchester United's under-21s. Absolutely brilliant to have him back, and everybody at Manchester United will tell you the same thing with Shea Lacey. He is the next best thing when it comes to players ready to break into Man United's first team squad. You've heard that before, I know, I've said it quite a lot, but this kid should have already been there, but for them injuries. Manchester United have held on to him, trusted him, and have kept him around, even though he hasn't featured a lot over the last couple of years. He is thought to be one of the most skillful players that Manchester United have got in their academy, and you only have to watch the videos to know. But it's interesting now, Manchester United, in terms of the first team squad this season. Now, we could have outgoings, we could have issues and situations develop in January, and Shea Lacey might actually be fully ready to go and train with Man United's first team. It's thought that all of these players, with the extra time that Manchester United have got on the training ground with Ruben Amorim, with only having domestic football, are now being promoted into first team training, as well as playing their own domestic football throughout the academy season. So under 21s for all three of these players. None of the under 18s are there yet for Manchester United, but these three are definitely going to train with the first team and could be added to the first team squad whenever Ruben Amorim wants or needs extra bodies there for Manchester United. Maybe in the FA Cup, maybe the turn of the year, but like we said again then, Manchester United come January could be moving players all around, and you could just have these players step up. Kone could have had enough game time after his injury and his eye socket injury from start of this season and feature for Manchester United. You don't know what the injury front is going to be. With Manchester United actually waiting around to buy the best players that they can and not just going out wasting money, they may have to dip into their academy and bring players through. But Kone, who we spoke about the other day, another player in that midfield area, could definitely play a part. If Manchester United do not go out and loan a player in January, expect to see Sekou Kone this season. He will feature for Manchester United. It's all anybody's talking about in that midfield area. You got Lacey, who's been talked about for about 4 years now. Go back through YouTube, go back through all the reports on social media, Instagram, wherever it may be. Lacey is there. Kone just arriving last year, as we spoke about in the video earlier on this week, is highly sort of at Manchester United, highly thought of, and is going to be a player for Manchester United. There is a full pathway been made and created by Christopher Vivell at Manchester United for Sekou Kone, and he is definitely in the minds of Manchester United's first team coaches. They are aware. So Kone, as we know, and what we said the other day, is definitely there for the midfield role for Manchester United. The next one in line is Gabe Biancheri. Now, we spoke about Gabe Biancheri last season. He is a player that is smashing all sorts of records and numbers in the under-18s, now stepping up to the under-21s, himself turning 18 as well now. So coming of age sorts of players. Manchester United also have the Chido Obi Martin situation as well. Obviously, he is going to be knocking on the door. Still playing only 17, Chido Obi. Manchester United obviously lacking serious numbers when it comes to the striker department. Phil Jones, like we said yesterday, talking about Chido bullying defenders. He is the he's like, this is Gaby and Kerry, by the way. He's the different type of player where you've got like that strong, powerful, tall, quick striker in Chido. You've got the small, low centre of gravity, dynamic, quick-feeted Gaby and Kerry as the other player, the other type of striker that Manchester United could use going forward. This and everything about these players has been spoken about within Manchester United's walls and Carrington for years now, particularly Gaby and Kerry and Jay Lacey. Kone has joined that group from being brought in. And again, a push from Manchester United's academy and the way that the football structure is working at the football club, bringing players in from overseas and letting them adapt and getting used to English life and playing in a different country in Manchester United's academy, and then building them up and letting them progress through the academy setup, under 18s to under 21s, getting them ready to maybe feature for Manchester United. I think the squad is being narrowed. Let's not forget, remember what we were talking about this morning. Manchester United's midfield next summer is being completely depleted. Manchester United will go out into the market, but could there be an opportunity for one of these academy players to actually come through and actually start knocking on the door now and saying you don't need to go out and buy another player? The forwards, yes, I feel it. Jay Lacey's probably, if I'm going to be honest right now, Jay Lacey's probably one of the most talented players that Manchester United have got in their academy. The problem he has got is he is up against the very best. He's up against the Cunhas, the Brunos, the Mbumos, the Amads, these types of players in at number 10. But if Bruno leaves next summer, and obviously then we're looking at the situation with Mason Mount and where he plays, you could always see a world in where Jay Lacey could come through and be on the bench as an impact player, taking his chance in that Manchester United side. Completely different player to both Cunha and Mbeumo. Completely different to Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes for that matter. The closest similarities you'll get to Jay Lacey in the Man United side at the moment is probably an Ahmad and that type of player, low centre of gravity, quick feet. In terms of Manchester United forward line and looking at Gaby and Kerry and what you can compare him to, we've got nothing like him in Manchester United's first team setup at the moment, which is interesting why he has been kept, because he was at one point this summer going out on loan. United have changed their minds with Gaby and Kerry. That's very, very interesting as well as to why they've done that, because he needed game time. So let's see what develops from that. But obviously, with what we said on Second Kone the other day as well, with United's midfield situation, it's going to be very interesting to see how they progress through Manchester United's ranks up to that first team. But definitely training with the first team, definitely ready to move in when Ruben Amorim wants them numbers. We'll see what happens in January. These players might have got to a point and Ruben might even be happy and send them back out on loan for the back end of the season. But keep an eye on all three of them names at Manchester United right now, because they are literally waiting to break through. And if they get their chance, I think all three of them could take it. But you've got to remember as well in this that Manchester United also, when looking at this, might just send them out on loan to gain experience at the back end of the season. Just for now, after this big window, I think this is what the story is. They've just kept a few behind in case, just to see. But we'll see when January comes, if anybody else leaves the football club, if these players actually get a chance and come through. But yeah, that is your updates around Manchester United. It is all on the academy, which is good. And it will be good to see some new faces come through from Manchester United's academy. Hopefully, we manage them better than what we have with the recent ones. You know what I mean by that. Hopefully, we've got more of the Scott McTominay type of mentality players rather than the Alejandro Garnacho type players, Marcus Rashford type players. This is what this club needs and was built on, and I think now we have got the best crop of talent coming through United's academy. Can they make the most of it? Is Ruben the man to make the most of it? Can they stop Man United going out and buying any other players? That's another point that we also need to make in this. Will Ineos look at this as a money-saving opportunity? Let's see. Get your comments in below. Let me know what you think, everybody, about them three players. Who is the standout player out of them three? That's the question I want you to answer in the chat right now. Who do you think is going to make it? Gaby and Kerry, Jay Lacey, or Sekou Kone? Who's going to break through first? That's your challenge. Get into the comment section, everyone. Give this video a like, and make sure you please hit that subscribe button on your screen. Closing in on 100k, everybody. I'll see you all later for the live update.